Well, we've been trying to teach Jack to do some agility. Some days he'll have a go and other days he won't. Now, we didn't have much luck with the brothers when we tried to do agility, so we gave up really because they just weren't interested. And I've got Jack on his own for a minute because Jack has been quite a naughty boy, and I haven't really had a chance to do a video about what's been going on with Jack because Pippin and Wash are being ill, but a few of you you know, will know what's been happening. Good boy Jack, can you get on there? I'm just going to let him have a wander for a minute and then we're going to see what we can do. But yeah, around the time, good boy, come on Jack, good boy, come on, that's it. Can you jump? Don't stop in the middle, come on. Anyway, a few months ago, around about Christmas time, when we had all the problem with the rats being sick, Jack got really naughty. He's always been quite a naughty rat, and he's always liked people more than other rats. And anyway, he's a little bit of a terror, and he used to sit on the shelf and jump on Jim and have a little bit of a kerfuffle every night with Jim. And they've always fought over food, and Jim is quite a placid rat, and he got very, very scared of Jack. And one night we thought it was okay because there was no blood or anything, and then one night there was a terrible scream coming from the cage, and we picked Jim up and Jack had really badly bitten him on his back. He had 2 puncture marks, and if it had been any deeper we would have had to have gone to the vet, but it was a nice neat wound and it stopped bleeding very quickly and we cleaned him up. But he was so shocked and terrified of Jack. So we took Jack out for the night, and we couldn't trust him for the rest of the night. We put him into a Mary cage on his own. And Jack has always needed a lot of extra attention. Now, normally, I've never actually had this problem of, well, one of the females a few years ago did bite her sister badly, but she only ever did it once. And we just didn't know what to do with Jack, and we had already considered maybe if we had a problem we'd have to have them castrated and, you know, see how we went. But anyway, poor Jim, he was in a really, really bad state, and so we gave him a couple of days. We put Jack into the spare Mary cage, and we put Jacob and Pippin in with him the next day while we were around to watch, and he was fine with Jacob and Pippin because Jacob was always the alpha, and Pippin honestly is twice the size of Jack. So we left him in there with them under supervision. We wouldn't leave him on his own because we just couldn't trust him. And when Jim had all healed up, we decided we'd try and put them back in together. But within minutes, Jack and Jim were having a little fight, and Jim was cowering and he was terrified, and we decided we just cannot do this. So we had to separate them again. And what we did is we worked on rat behaviour, and we worked out that Jack wasn't actually sick. He was aggressive. He has bitten me in the past. And I'll tell you what happened when he bit me. When I very first met Jack, when he was around 5 weeks old and he'd never been handled, he bit me twice when I was trying to sort the rats out and sex them between the males and the females and sort them out for rehoming. He grabbed my finger and ran away, and he didn't draw blood, but it was a warning bite. It was quite hard for a young rat. And he did bite me like that every day for the first week until he got used to me. But I knew it was just nerves when he was little, that he wasn't being mean, he was just being scared. And the only other time he has bitten me a few months ago really, really badly. I have got some pictures of it that I'll put up on my Facebook page when I do a little post on biting rats. And that was my fault because I was pulling out the paper bedding. I didn't see Jack. He was lying all curled up. He was under a big pile of paper and it was only white showing, and I didn't realise, my vision is not brilliant, I didn't see Jack was in there. And as I pulled the bedding, he suddenly woke up, sprung at my hand and really badly bit me. And it did take quite a long time for the bleeding to stop, and it was quite a nasty bite. But I thought, well, two things here. One, I have to show him I'm not scared of him. He was sitting looking very, very sorry for himself. He realised immediately that he bit me, that he'd made a mistake. And I stopped the bleeding, and immediately I went back and I thought, I'm going to pick him up, because I can't be worried about Jack biting me. And I knew that it was a mistake. But, you know, meanwhile, it escalated and he started to bite Jim. So we decided he was having playtime every day with his brothers. But at night time we were having to put him into the other cage because something was happening, and it's like Jack was a different personality at night. He'd be fine with the brothers in the day, so we integrated him back into the cage. And him and Jim, they were quite wary of each other, but they just sort of kept their distance. And if we were going out or when we went to bed, we would put Jack back into the spare cage on his own, because we just really couldn't trust him. Because at night time, he was, Jack, no nibbling, no, come here, Jack, this way, come here, this way. And so we just couldn't trust him, so we decided we would get him castrated, and then that would solve the problem. He can either go back in and not be a threat to Jim, or he could go in with his sisters. But anyway, the next thing was Jack developed this respiratory problem, and it could well be because we separated him from his brothers, although he does have playtime with Jacob and Pippin every day. He doesn't get on too well with Toby or Jim. But we decided, we have to do what is right for all the rats, and we can't risk him keep biting the other rats. He turned a bit nasty with Toby, so we're trying to have him get his respiratory problem cleared up so that he can go and be castrated and hopefully get integrated either back with his brothers full time or in with his sisters, which would be great because Jack is the smallest of the males. He acts like a female. He is so agile. He throws himself across the cage in the morning when he sees me. He's the first one jumping out, and he is very lightweight. And this is why we decided to try the rat agility with him. He needs a lot of extra attention, and good boy, Jack. Good boy, good boy. And that's his little bowl of water over there. And so we decided we'd look at rat behaviour and what is making him so aggressive. And we know it can be hormonal, but meanwhile, while we're waiting to clear up his respiratory problem and see about getting him castrated, which obviously is worrying me terribly because of the problem we had with Pippin having the stroke. But Jack's a different sort of personality to Pippin. He's never had any other health problems. But we were looking at ways of that we thought maybe it's attention seeking, because Jack always wants to come out, whereas the others will be asleep most of the day. Jack is very, very active. So we thought he's getting bored. We're going to look at ways to keep him amused. So what we're doing is very time consuming, but Jack is coming out about 4 or 5 times more than the others every day. So during the day when he's awake, every hour I'll pick him out for a few minutes. He'll have a run on the floor or he'll sit on my knee. Jack, which we'll rearrange the rat tubes, because all the rats love rat tubes and mazes and tunnels and things. So we will do everything we can to keep him amused and tire him out, and it is working. He is a lot less placid and a lot more placid and a lot less aggressive. But long term, we do want him to be settled in with a group permanently, because Pippin at the moment can't go in with Jack because of his operation and his illness. So it only leaves Jacob. So poor Jacob is spending too much time out of the main cage, and it's really not fair on Jacob because he's such a sweetheart and he's really good and lovely. So it's a long-term problem that we've been sorting over the last few months, and we're hoping very soon that Jack can go in for the operation. But obviously it's worried me with what's happened with Pippin. So I just wanted to let you all know what's been happening. And I think if you do have an aggressive rat, there's lots of things that you can do. There are like hormone treatments and things that you can try, which is something else we're going to talk about with the vet while we sort out Jack's health problems. But I do think sometimes when rats bite, the type of biting that Jack's doing, it's to do with he's very playful and lively, and his brothers are just too boring for him, I'm afraid. So giving them lots of extra attention and time out of the cage, it really can help to calm them down. I mean, it's worked for us, and it's just personally myself, I don't trust him at night with the others, and that is a shame. But you know, you have to do what you have to do to keep all of your rats safe, and we hope that this problem will get resolved really as soon as possible. And meanwhile, we're going to try and I was going to put the camera onto the tripod and do, you know, encourage Jack to do some agility, but I've left the tripod clip at home, the attachment, so I can't attach the camera. So it's just been letting Jack have a little run around today. Can you smell there's been girlies on that mat, hasn't there? There's intensive sniffing. He does this to my t-shirt if he smells food. What can you smell, Jack? Oh dear, listen to him. Oh, he's currently on Baytril and doxycycline. We've tried Ferroflox as well. And I can't remember what else we tried with Jack, but he's a little pickle. He is a little pickle, aren't you? Yeah, so that's our Jack man and what we're trying to do to sort him out. But, you know, oh dear, typical Jack. I don't know if you can see that. Dribbles everywhere. Soaks me every time we pick him up. He's really into scenting up everything. So if you do have a rat that bites you, it's important not to, you know, get very nervous and then stop handling the rats. And we've got videos on Ouch My Rat Bites and handling your rats if you're nervous. And I'm going to do an updated version on, you know, handling rats if you're nervous, and put it into the frequently asked questions. But look at all the possible causes. Health problems, it could be boredom, it could be illness in your rat. I said that already as health problems, but let me see what else I was thinking of. If it's biting you, it's sudden movements, the actual rat being nervous of you, and it could be they smell food. So there's lots of different things to think about and to look at. And so I'm going to stop filming and try and get Jack to actually do some activities, and I'll have to do another video another day and show you how far he's got with his rat agility.